right, guys. Welcome to Jupiter's Love. I am the goddess. Talk about it, Tina. And that over there is my handsome, handsome king. Life of Iconic.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at
So,
my queen over there. Nah. We gotta look at you. I did not get the memo today.
what was the memo?
Try to get on here looking fly as you.
I
Uh,
mean, it's natural for us, baby. It's
and
what we
and
do.
and the fit that print goes all the way down. She's
Yeah.
half black, half fifth, half fifth.
All right, guys. So today we're doing things a little bit different. We're gonna switch it up
When
just
you
a
get
little
them
bit. Huh?
when you get them earrings.
I've had these earrings for years. Like Camelot years. These are old.
You this must be the first time you wore them, cause I
Uh
ain't seen.
no. So you didn't pay attention.
Sure. Okay.
These are old. I ain't gonna point myself out, but they a little tarnished. They
Mm,
old.
okay.
But I make everything look new. What
What's wrong with your finger?
do you mean what's
Oh.
wrong with my finger?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Told you how I'm coming. I'm coming with the goddess jewelry.
All
Bling
right.
bling. Okay. So guys, today we are talking about the reason why your relationships fail. We're gonna do a mic check audio and we're gonna jump into it. Can you hear me clear, baby? We get any echo, feedback?
A little bit, but it is what it is.
I'm a I just had to I might have to recalibrate the microphone. Um but as for now, we're gonna get into it. So the reasons why relationships fail, there's a lot of reasons. And me personally, I think that it really stems around lack of communication, because if you communicate your wants and needs, then you won't have the issues that you have. Um, so I'm a get into it. We gonna get the female perspective, and we gonna get the male perspective. We gonna bring it to you because you need to understand what men think, as well as men need to understand what women think. So the main things, and I'm just going to open us up with, today we're just going to be talking about the aspects and fundamentals of human life, shaping our experiences, emotions, overall well-being. Despite our best intentions, relationships can sometimes face challenges that lead to breakdown. So, in this video, we will dwell. I can never say that word. Delve into the core issues that often underline relationship problems, shedding light on the reasons behind the breakdowns. Understanding these reasons is crucial to fostering the healthier, more fulfilling connections with our loved ones. So, common relationship problems can vary: communication, trust issues, conflicts over values, and priorities. What is your priorities? So, back in the day, my priority was making money. That's all I saw. I was in survival mode, and it caused a lot of conflict. Of course, my lovely king had his needs that he valued, and our values were not aligning at the moment or at that time, because priorities were my priorities, his priorities were different. Um, of course, we have our emotional health, self esteem, and overall happiness. So, why do you think mentioning everything that I said just as a whole, what would you say from a male's perspective, what you see from people around you, scrolling on social media, friends and family? Why do relationships fail?
Most of them fail because they are not trying to, first of all, understand and communicate with themselves. Communicate with the little boy, with the little girl that's inside you. See why you feel or do the things you do, say the things you say. Because most likely it's childhood trauma, some type of form. Yeah, your father wasn't home enough. Your father missed most important things of your life. Your mother missed most important things of your life. They wasn't there when you needed them the most, and it caused some unresolved issues. And now it's manifesting itself in your adult dating or relationship life. And um it could be a number of things. It could be, but most likely it's with the little kid in you, and it's coming from your parents. Let's say, for instance, some of us are not um into church like that because our older parents, grandparents, maybe even our great grandparents were brought up to weaponize the Bible, and it hurt us because it's like you used it as a weapon compared to using it as a comforting thing. So it manifests,
I totally agree with childhood trauma. That is huge, for male and female children. Um, the females more than likely have daddy issues if their dad wasn't there. Um, Boys tend to look to their moms for approval, and if they don't get that, or if they don't get the response that they were expecting, then as they grow up, it snowballs into a whole lot of issues. I'm hearing feedback. Do you hear that? Or is it just on my end?
it's just, I think it's, yeah, it's well, I hear it too a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. You might be just very, like, that microphone picks up easy, so you might just be too close for it.
So I need to move it across the room, is what you're saying?
Probably. We'll check on it but
Yeah,
boys look for approval from their dads, and they look for the nurturing, loving from their mom. We, as boys, we look to our dads to make sure, are we doing it right, whether it's fixing cars, fixing houses, even fixing relationships. Because me and my brother had recently just let my dad know, if we only knew the stuff he knew ahead of time, where we could be
right.
when it comes to relationship.
Yeah. Um, so there's that. And then, communicating in the beginning. So I would say my biggest thing is when you get out of a relationship that caused you trauma, someone cheated on you, lied, whatever, because lack of communication, lack of expressing needs and wants. Um, you don't give yourself time to heal when you move into the next relationship, which immediately causes trust issues on top of all the childhood trauma. So now you're adding trust issues, you're adding insecurities, you're adding all these emotional stress to yourself from the past relationship, and then you're going into a new relationship and you're not healing, you're not communicating, so you're not understanding of self and your needs. You don't know how when someone walks out the door, now you immediately think they're going to cheat, or you're on the phone with them and you hear a female in the background. Now you think, oh, he's looking at her some kind of way, or she sounds super close to you. Because I had that issue. He would call me and I'm like, dang, that person sounds like she's sitting right up under you. Had trust issues, insecurities.
Who, me?
No, me. Talking about me.
No. Were you calling me or were I calling you?
Yes, when you were at work and you'd be at American and you'd be sitting at the table. I'm like, dang, that person sound like they super close. Oh, they're sitting across the table. Yeah, that's not what I hear. They
Yeah.
sitting right next to you. That's what I hear. So, you got to communicate what's really going on, and the other person has to be receptive of what you're saying. If you say, hey, I have trust issues, or I'm insecure. I had someone very close to me tell their husband, I have insecurities. And that their husband was like a brick wall, did not take in what the wife was saying at all. And it just snowballed. And it never got resolved to this day. So,
What else?
what else? So effective communication builds trust and intimacy. Poor communication leads to misunderstandings and conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Enhancing communication involves active listening, I statements, empathy, and validation. Because
Actually,
Lord, yes,
like
validation is
actually have to hear, listen. Like, yeah.
right. So trust issues. Trust is foundational for emotional intimacy and security. Trust issues arise from betrayal, dishonesty, and past traumas. Rebuilding trust requires honesty, consistent behavior, empathy, and setting boundaries. Although we don't set boundaries, but we on a whole nother level.
No,
Um,
we set boundaries. We just, we 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 set boundaries at the level that we're at right now. They're a
right,
little bit different.
right. So there's boundaries there, but they're, in my opinion, they just loose.
Yeah, because hell, we think different. We move different. We
I just
know different.
I don't even feel right saying that we have boundaries because of where we're at. Um, I'm just checking our time. So I feel like freedom is not having boundaries and trusting that whatever goes on with us, we trust the other person to manage that freedom correctly.
There, but that's still, to me, that's still boundaries. Like, you're free to do it, but there's a point
You
in
just
line
know
where,
how far to go. But those are
yeah,
boundaries set within yourself, not for the other person per se.
yeah, yeah.
So, conflict resolution. Conflict is natural and can foster growth when resolved effectively. So, when we first got back together, even before we got back together, we talked about all of our issues that we had, all the things that went wrong in our marriage prior, and we effectively communicated those things to the point where it got us to where we're at today. Healthy conflict resolution involves active listening, assertive communication, and compromise. Huge. Embracing compromise fosters cooperation and maintains harmony. Self awareness and personal growth. Self awareness influences personal well being and relationship dynamics. Understanding one's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors enhances interactions, positive interactions. So if I understand what he's saying, if I understand what he's doing, if I'm like, oh, he's doing this because of this, then it fosters healthy interactions versus me being all upset and mad and angry about one thing or another. Like if he goes and makes a post about not getting attention because I'm too busy, and then I contact him and say, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? You need some attention." Then that's positive interaction versus why you make that thirst post, stuff like that. We're gonna wrap it up. So, external influences, external factors like stress, societal expectations. So, societal expectations is why your relationship will fail. Um, and financial pressures impact relationships. So you financially you worried about, oh, how much money he makes or how much money is coming in. Sit down at the table, work together to figure out how we can bring more money in together, or how we can help each other bring more money in. If I'm in these streets making money doing DoorDash or Instacart or whatever, then hey, you be the driver and let me go out here and hustle my ass off. Like today would be a great day for me not to have to drive and be in this dang heat warning that we have. But that's a whole nother topic. Um, so personal, where are we at? Coping strategies include self-care, open communication, and mutual support. So again, supporting each other, not just worrying about, oh, well, you're not doing this for me and blah, blah, blah. Support each other. Your expectations of someone else should be the same expectations for yourself. And addressing external influences proactively strengthens relationships. External influences, other people in your relationship, more than likely have something to say about a relationship that they don't even have. Just saying. So, in conclusion, uh, communication, trust, external influences, self awareness, look in the mirror before you point the finger at your spouse. So if your relationship is failing, is because you're not pointing the finger at yourself and taking accountability for yourself. So with everything that we brought, we trying to keep it short for y'all. Baby, do you have anything to conclude in regards to why relationships fail?
If take time to know yourself, heal yourself. You have to be okay with you being alone before you try to bring somebody else in.
Shots fired. Not at me though. But yes, you have to be able to love yourself. You have to be in love with yourself. You have to flat out love yourself. Because when you love yourself, that is going to reflect and emulate out. And then that's going to show your partner how to give you that same type of love, as well as you do that for them. Because if you're with someone that doesn't do good self love, then you don't know how to love them. Because they're not even showing you how they love them. With all of that being said, what do we say, baby?
Oh, I don't know. Don't ground your love, make it out of this world.
Period. And
We're
we're out.